from Grand GEDEH business. Yeah. You just need to zoom down a little bit, please. Now tell you more from Grand GEDEH business. Zoom out. Yeah. Okay, good. Imagine that someone who call themselves a Grand GEDEH, someone who say they love Grand GEDEH County to their heart, and that person sending message to someone, say if you love your life, tell your more from Grand GEDEH Benin. You and Sheku, you're discussing the county too much. You send that message to me. Eh? You send a message to me. And the other time you send a message to me, you say the way I came from Grand Cape County, that my casket they will carry back. And you send that message. Then you go send a message to Prince 2 Jr. That he ain't boss man can always put more in Grand GEDEH County business. So they must take more from Grand GEDEH County business. The great grandpa then who died in the county here, they will chase you one by one. You're who the evil doer. You're the wicked one then. Our great grandpa then, our great grandma then, who died. But when people talking some issue, then you're sending text messages to them. Tell you more from Grand GEDEH County business. You let Grand GEDEH County more than who? You let Grand GEDEH County more than who? Then you wake up, you put your more. You sending text to tell people tell your more from your Grand GEDEH County. That bad thing they talking. Then you send text. That bad thing the people talking. Then you send text intimidating, threatening people. They must tell you more from in Grand GEDEH County business. They talking too much. Y'all did it to me. Y'all give me ultimatum. Look, let me tell you, anywhere market data I want. Let me get you that quote today. Anywhere market data I want. You know what they told? The data is all maybe to take it for granted. But all I can tell you is nobody is evilly discussing Grand GEDEH County. So the God of Grand GEDEH, the God of Bishop Oyendepo, the God of AG, the God of Pentecostal, the God of Methodist, the God of Baptist, that God, Jehovah Jireh, will protect us. We know that, Lucky Dube say, don't tell me the truth. It's because the truth can hear. The truth can hear. Yeah, that's true. The truth can hear. That's the truth looking. So to say, let's do the one here. Then you come, you say, you threatening? Let me provide some lay information before I bring my guest this morning. Like I said, I got wonderful guests sitting in studio. Let me provide you lay information before I bring my guest on this morning. In Nigeria, I saw a video yesterday. I was amazed. Yeah, guess what? A representative carry rest to the Muslim community, the young people, as their Lomki gift, the Abraham Day gift. When he got through speaking, they put the rest down, and the youth chairman took the microphone. The youth president for that community. Look, I was like, wow, can this happen in Liberia? Nigeria is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times more populated than our country. Now that they're not suffering, they are suffering. But this is what happened. When the youth president took the microphone, the youth president told him, thank you for your rest, but we don't need it. And the youth president instructed his people to put the rest back in the pickup and say, carry it. What we need is job. When you give us job, we'll be able to give thousands of other young people rest to eat. And they put that rest inside that vehicle. And if you don't want rice, I will carry my rice. Then you hear them, go. We don't want rice, we need job. How many times they will feed you with rest. Rest that costs 2,500, 3,000. You eat it today. In the evening hour, your stomach start complaining on you. What happened? Then your stomach communicating with your mouth. I want water. I want water. I want family. Eh? Then you vomit everything they give you. You give your right to them to vote for them. For your stomach business. Young people, we need to change the mentality. Please, we need to change the mentality. Young people must be in that kind of situation where they will not just hold $10 US, $5 US, and call you Baku, you strong. Baku, Baku, you strong. Yeah, Baku, you're go to Banaba. Yeah, I will play for you. Baku, you do great. Baku, you strong. Then when they wake up, they go and sit down, they start calling your liquor soccer. My man, you want to get out, man, and just put liquor on the table. And I think you can hear some stupid thing and they be talking on that table. Yeah. No. They're talking, they're crazy people. Eh? And some young people are very sound. And those ones that are sound, they don't have too many followers. And every time they are ready to do these kinds of things, to say, follow me, let's take a good decision. Then you find the bulk of the one who are belay. They jump behind and they say, you attack on this. So most of you who can do these things, I want you to find a book and read it. And that book is called The Beautiful Ones Are Not Yet Born. That entire book is about corruption. You got phones in your hands. As I'm speaking this morning, you got phones in your hands. Just type the beautiful ones are not yet born. It is not the physical beauty. It means the righteous ones, they are not yet born. But you can fight hard to change some system. A philosopher says the world is suffering not because of the bad people, but because of the silence of the good ones. When you keep quiet on things that matter to your life is finished. The day we start keeping silence on things that matters our life is finished. Biblically, it tells us very clearly. It said life and death lasts on the power of the tongue. Whatsoever the tongue says, it shall come to pass. He said, he who keepeth his mouth, keepeth his life. I don't want to preach this morning, because some people will say I preach it right now. I know I'll become a very good preacher one day. Okay, I got my guest this morning. I got Mr. Stephen Sekwasiwo. And I have a very astute gentlemen. I think you guys are already sitting far from each other. So you don't really need this, what you might call it. You guys are already sitting far from each other. You got some distance between you. Let the people who are out there, the pounding of the camera is affecting the live. So you have to pound it very slowly because I noticed the cable there. Yeah. So Gibson Tapper, one time, and it's still, not just one time, it's still because the case is pending, the vice president for the Grand GEDEH Youth Development Association, and Mr. Stephen Sekwasiwo, one of the activists of this county. They are in studio this morning ahead of the July 26th celebration. And look, when the guys met me yesterday, I was like, do we still have people in the county like this? Yeah, I thought of that. And they said, look, we can sit down as a youth league wing. We want to have some sort of little gathering at the party headquarters for other young people to come and join us in the process. Let's celebrate the July 26th. And so, gentlemen, you are welcome this morning. Stephen, welcome. How are you?
Yes, I thank you, Sekou, and let me say good morning to our peace-loving people out there, our partisans on the indomitable Mighty Coalition for Democratic Change, CDC. So I'd like to say good morning this morning.
Okay. And so let's go to our next speaker. Gibson Topic, good morning. How are you?
Yeah, thank you, Sekou Amboke. And let me say good morning to the management of Thor Radio and the entire citizen. All citizens in Grand Union County, I want to say good morning this morning. Whether you find yourself in the district, claims, and where you are currently located, I want to say good morning. And let me say thank you for allowing us to be in your studio.
Okay, good. So let's begin with Stephen Sekwa Sewo. Stephen, what brought you to studio this morning? Even though my ear was like being bold,
Yeah.
you know, with some issue, but I wanted people to hear from the house's mouth.
All right. Thank you this morning. And once again, I'd like to extend my gratitude out there to our partisan who stood in the rain and sun in building the dreams and aspiration of this great party. This morning we have come diligently to inform our colleagues out there, our partisan CDC, you know, having observed all of the rigmarole, and then of course we are gearing to the State Independent Day as a party in line with our hierarchy from the chair and down to the sweeper of the party. We as the youth lead of this great party, Grand GEDEH chapter, we have, you know, conglomerated ourselves to see how well we can put our colleagues together on July 26th at the party headquarters.
Okay.
So we came this morning to inform our brothers, our sisters, our supporters, our cadres, our militant and militias out there, so that on July 26th, they should make their way to the political party opposite Smart FM, so that we can see how well to celebrate together. The only thing we advising when you come in, mask up.
Okay.
Bring your nose mask with you. We'll make sure that the social distances will be observed, because we have adequate chairs and what have you. Musical set will be played on that day, where we'll be there throughout the day. And we just want to make it very clear, because since our establishment as a youth league, who is also part of the executive and one of the nuclear part of the political party, we have not, you know, putting ourselves together in terms of observing and making our partisans happy. We know that many of them out there, they are very, you know, disappointed one way or the other, because everyone have their own perspectives in terms of how they handle issues. So we came this morning to appeal to them. They should come to our call from 8 o'clock in the morning up to wee hour.
Okay.
So this is the reason that we are here this morning.
Gibson, let's hear you. Let's hear you.
All right, thank you, Sekou. Again, like we told you, we will have been 3 in studio, but again, Comrade Joseph Kombe Wablo will join us later. I communicated with him. He told me I will join you. Straight to the issue. The Secretary General for the CDC Youth League Grand GEDEH chapter have said it clear. There is a need that we meet as partisans, so that we impress, you know, those who are always in the ring and so on, making sure that the value of the coalition for democratic change is maintained.
Okay.
And so we have met again as the CDC Youth League, and there are several meetings that we have conducted, and we have decided, you know, on the day of the 170 plus, you know, independent anniversary, which will be celebrated across the country. So that we, as CDC, specifically the Youth League, because I'm not talking about a lot of people, I'm talking about the Youth League. It's just a portion of the CDC, and not just portion, but a strong one. We will conglomerate. We will meet at the party headquarters and start a goat, 1 or 2, you know, with, I mean, all the ingredients, so that partisans can really sit down you know, and I know things are now well. COVID-19 has grossly affected many of our supporters, and we cannot determine what others will be surviving from on the day of the celebration. And so, if the people are home and we are outside, enjoying ourselves without some of them being part of the program or being part of us, 2023, these things will be questioned. So we have decided to call everybody at the party headquarters so that we have a little get together, and the celebration will also be extended to the Tome Palace, where the superintendent, who is the head of the county, is also situated, and we cannot celebrate because usually the past 20 the superintendent started up a goat, and all of us were there. Made use of goat pepper soup, and so since we are carrying our own tool, we cannot exclude the superintendent. Despite the surrounding and all the issues that we are hearing, but it is also important and cardinal that we include some of them into the celebration.
All right, let me quickly ask this question, and I think a lot of people will also like to throw light on that. Over the past times, oh my God, this life has been affected greatly. Right here, over the past times, it has not been. We have not really seen, the kind of situation where July 26th will be coming and people using the party headquarters for celebration. But with the information just a few days ago that there will be an assembly for some young people or some aggrieved people in the county on the 26th of July to assemble and asking the local authority for their county moving equipment. And today, the youth league wing of the party is here telling Grand GEDEHs that we are inviting all seditians at the party headquarters. It will be a slaughtering a goat, so we can have pepper soup and have some issues together. Is it not a counter thing against this peaceful gathering as the people claim it is? Let's begin with you, Stephen.
All right, thank you, Sekou. For that aspect, basically we came in very late in terms of the publicity, because we were actually thinking about how to gather resources, and luckily we never knew that you were going to allow us to enter in here with all of your effort being made to have us here this morning. We planned this thing since June.
Okay.
We planned this thing at a time where there was nothing like having an issue of protest in other Rima Road. But there are other guys too that are part of the protest. We believe they are also part of the youth league.
Okay.
So we did not in any way want to use this medium to, counter protest against anyone. Grand GEDEH is all we have, and I think if any of them have their own grievances and conspiracy related to the plain protests, it is their right. Why should we counter, protest or against them? The only thing that we can urge them, because some of them they are part of the youth league, maybe probably they have one or two, disagreement related to how these moving equipment left the county. But we are also encouraging them that we should find a smooth playing ground so that we all, can look into it. But our plan of gathering to the evil party, headquarters in no manner and form of counter, protesting against our friends, our brother, they have a good claims. And we think, but they also coming to all, we can all sit down and see how well we can engage our leaders. But this plan of gathering to the party headquarters have no dream of counter protesting against them. And I think, like, what people will say, why should you also invite the superintendent, or why should you go as a party to the headquarters of the superintendent? The superintendent is the first partisan of this party. Seku, there are all lot of, like I protest in Morovia headed by CPP. Have no way found out that there is a gathering at the house or the residence of the president. They always use the office of the executive mansion or the Capitol building so as to instruct the common good of their leaders. So by using the Third Man Palace for me, I want to advise our brother they have to recalibrate and rethink, recollect to see how well they can redirect the venue of the protest. Because for all peacefully will be gathering so as to yes.
No.
But just addition to Stephen.
Obviously,
just
I didn't hear that. And if anybody goes that right, that means it's not security safe. That I can tell anybody.
Yeah, just addition to Stephen.
Because you cannot say, I come in 1 minute.
Yeah.
You cannot say that you gather at the house of the superintendent. The very first thing here is that position, the superintendent is the vast jury of the president. And by virtue of fact, that position is also the county's president. There are so many places to converge, if you wish. Triangle is a public area.
Yeah.
The football field is a public area. In front of the administrative building is a public area. The home of the superintendent is not a public area. Despite it is a government giving place. But the superintendent chooses who goes in and who comes out. So if anybody says we are going to converge in the home of the superintendent, obviously it will have another motive. In a sense, that's just the fact. Everyone will love the superintendent. So why if you converge in the home of the superintendent and some people got rocks in their hands? Some people got, cutlasses and other things.
All right.
And the superintendent just decided to come down to speak to someone, In fact, you also impede on his movement. So if anybody says that, because I have not heard that since I've been talking to these people, that they will converge at the home of the superintendent to ICE. If anybody says that, I can tell that person, sometimes I'm so bold and people say, look, I'm rude. I can tell that person, you're all on your head. Yeah. To go to the superintendent hall and say, look, we will be in front of you. No. You can go in front of the administrative building. You can go in front of the triangle or within the triangle. That's government area. If you like, you can go right to where the people normally pray after total. That wild football field. Nobody stop anybody from gathering. It is left with you to call on him. He come and receive your petition statement. I think it's all about crying to him. Look, we need our county assets. But to say we're going to your house, then I mean, that's small they call you dream to say you're going to the main house. Yes. So I don't want us to raise that argument because nobody has spoken about that so far. If you ever got that, maybe it's a mere gossip, and none of us as well. Even though we support peaceful, gathering according to Article 17. And that's why journalists always say on the public media that those people are accountable. Don't get me wrong. We do not support violence as journalists. I want people to please understand that. No way. But to gather and ask, where is this? And the person respond, that look, this is it. It's a very wonderful thing. Before my colleagues come in, let me tell you guys something about June 7 protest. And that protest was a failure in this country. June 7 protest, according to Article 17 of the Liberian Constitution, and I want you people to read that very clear. It did not say you should go in front of the executive mansion. No, let me make it very clear again. It did not say you should go in front of the superintendent's house. Because if you will go in front of the executive mansion, then you will go in front of the superintendent because the executive mansion is obviously the home of the president. The office and home of the president. Then we come back to this. Article 17 says you can peaceably assemble and instruct. They didn't say you should beg your representatives. It is written there to instruct. The disappointing part about it is that I hope and pray that the lawmakers in this country, they have office. The lawmakers, the representatives, and the senators, they have a committee in the House that is called the Committee on Claims and Petition. Now, if you petition the president in this country to do anything, the president cannot do anything without taking that petition to the House of Representatives first. And the House of Representatives will send that particular petition to that committee to look into it. Whatsoever they agree upon, they send it straight to the Senate for concurrence. The Senate also send it right back into another committee called Claim and Petition. Then after which, they come out and have an agreement and send it to the president, asking him to do a veto. That's why they have the 3 branches of government, and each of them have responsibility. So you are asking the superintendent to account for your counting machine. Obviously, the superintendent office is at the administrative building. You go to the administrative building. The superintendent got his children. His children got nothing to do with your counting machine. His wife had nothing to do with the counting machine. They also have time to move out and do 1 or 2 things. Then we leave that. If the party headquarters is active, you can also come and ask the party chairman and say, look, we have done this and this is what we want. We'll be converging at the party, because the party headquarters, that's the superintendent, that's the development superintendent, it's the party headquarters that belongs to the party, and the party is the one leading the country. So what do? We can meet at the party headquarters if we want to. We meet at the Triangle if we want to. You only need to have a place to assemble. And anywhere you assemble, it is the bound duty of the superintendent. Please listen to this. Let me say this. And there were June 7, they whistle on themselves. It is the bound duty of the superintendent. If you say you want to present your petition to the superintendent, it is the bound duty of the superintendent to send a representative, someone he trusts, that can receive your petition. If the superintendent does not come to receive your petition by himself, and he say, I am sending someone to receive the petition, and the person come and receive the petition, beautiful. Right? So you petition the superintendent, you petition your lawmakers, you're instructing them to petition the government to bring back your counting machine. Who are your lawmakers? Unfortunately, some of them, before you see them, you have to make sacrifice with chicken pee. Zopeno, that we elected over 3 times, and today he's a senator. He's one of those persons that you need to call back now. Say, Zo, we want you. It is important. Come back. You sent, he got a district coordinator when he was a representative. I don't know who is the district coordinator right now or the county coordinator when he's now senator. He should receive that petition. You have Senator Abbott Marshall Dennis. He should receive that petition. You have the county caucus chair. If you don't want to write them separately, you only write the county caucus chair, as a caucus. And they will discuss that into their caucus meeting. But I advise, if anybody planning to go to the home of the superintendent, if anybody advises you in that direction, you miss the mark, and that is not the right way. The superintendent can come out to receive the petition, and the superintendent can say, I will respond to the petition today, or I will respond to the petition tomorrow. It is left for you to decide when the superintendent responds to the petition. If you say you will respond to the petition in 1 week, if you say we will be in the street for 1 week until you respond to the petition, it is also your right. But at the same time, your right shouldn't impede on other people's right. So if you will be blocking roads, then that means you will be infringing on the rights of other peaceful citizens. And this is where sometimes the government say, you have to take the people from that street. If you say you are sitting to the Triangle, fine. If you go into the football field, fine. The media will give you the full coverage. And it will claim the attention of other stakeholders. It will claim the attention of other dignitaries. Civil society will come in, and they will But I am saying it very frankly, it would not be well for you to meet to the superintendent place. So June 7 protest failed. They refused to give the petition statement to Musa Din. They refused to give the petition statement to who? The vice president of the Republic of Liberia, because in fact she said she wasn't well. They said they wanted to hand it over to him, the president himself. And at the end of the day, they read our petition statement on Facebook that never got in the hands of any other person with high resources and gathering of people. Once again, guys, if they are listening, let them also listen well, that step will not be the best thing. That step will not be the best thing. And the vice on the, he's monitoring, he's viewing. The vice chair on that particular protest, he just said, good morning, Ms. Kuma. Our flyers spell out our assembly point, which is this triangle. So if you guys in studio think it is our point of assembly, then they are playing field. Okay, thank you very much. You said it.